Hey guys, Germinator here again, and today I was going to show you just another version of a fireplace. I've done the versions where you go downstairs or you go upstairs once you enter the fireplace. But now I wanted to do a version where you didn't have to worry about any stairs whatsoever, because it seems like people like the fireplace entrances the best. So I went ahead and did this version, and I made it fairly compact. There's a bit of lag there, but that's cool. So I've been working on this, and I wanted to do a tutorial for this for you guys if you wanted to do just a straight doorway. And it's fairly compact. I'm not going to say it couldn't get a little bit more compact, but this is just the way a lot of it is just for the switches on each end, which I'll show you. And you could actually have it look like two versions with the same model. One version is just one gap in like that, and then of course you could bring it out one like this as well, and it still looks good. So I'll show you both those versions. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. It doesn't take that long to build, so I'm just going to fly over here and let's just build this thing. So I start 5 up from the ground. So on that 5th block, so you may end up having to dig down, 4 or 5 spaces down. But this would be ground level right here, at least 4 blocks where we're going to start. And then first thing we're going to do is place our pistons. So sticky pistons are going to go right here on the side of those forward, and you're going to put 5 of them like that. Okay, and the same thing for this end. We're going to have 5 of them in the same shape, same pattern. If I can build here, that'd be awesome. So there's that, and then go ahead and place your blocks on them like so. Now we need to get a space for where the lava is going to go. So just build this up like that, and then you're going to need a space underneath that as well. So let's do that. Actually, bring that out. There we go. Just like that. Failed there for a second, but we're good with that because shit happens. Alright, so we got that. Now you can go ahead and bring this, close this off. Just make sure there's a gap right there. Just leave that gap. That's where the lava is going to fall down. And just build that around like that. And come around the back. Let's put in our floor. And we need one more space. We need a space in between that and the doorway. So put a gap right there. And then right here, just bring your floor out 3. And 3 this way. Same thing on the other side. 3. Does anybody else have trouble flying in the Xbox version? I mean, not flying, I mean running fast. Clicking forward with the analog stick really sucks. But anyway, so right here we're going to place our sticky pistons for the doorway. Not like that. Like that on both sides. So one gap right there. 4. And then 2 facing this way. Place your blocks for your door. You can go ahead and fill that in as well. Now let's come around this side and place a block there and a block there. Dust and a repeater on 4. Same thing this side. Block, dust, repeater on 4. You can go ahead and place dust behind those. Now come right here. We need to put blocks in the middle of this gap for these 2. So put 2 blocks right there in between those 2. And bring this out 2. You're going to stare it down to the right. Till it hits right there. And then we're going to put our dust in on top of those blocks like that, leading down. I come right here and take these 2 out. Not those 2. Those 2 and these 2, because we're going to stare this down. Stare that down like so. Connect it up, because we're going to connect that with dust. So it's like that. So there's our doorway put in. If you want to test it out, just do like this with a torch on it, and you'll see it closes. It opens up, so we're good. Now, you can go ahead and fill this in for where your walkway will be for the exit. If you want, just a couple of them to bring it out. So now we're going to put in this for the wiring for these pistons. So put a block on top of that piston, bring it 2 out this way, and drop it down 1, and bring it this way until you hit right there, even with this. So bring that up and over like that, because you're going to put a torch on the end of it with dust leading to the top of that piston, and then go ahead and lead your dust back to that. Actually, we're going to need a repeater right here, so put a repeater right there set on 4, and we're going to need a repeater here on 4, because we're going to put a block on top of that piston, lead it 2 this way, drop it down 1, and bring it this way till it meets up with that repeater, because we're going to have a block right here with the torch on the side and dust leading to the top of that piston. Now just lead your dust back to that. So there's that. Now we just need to do the wiring for these 4 on each side. So just bring this out 2, repeater on each one like that, dust behind it, and drop it down, stare it down this way 2, like that, and then drop this down another one coming this way, and then just lead that block over this way, because we'll connect this up in a second. So put 2 and 2 behind those, and we're good. Never mind, I'm losing my mind, people. Alright, so just like that, wire it up, and then stare it down this way again, 2, 2, and then drop it down right there. We're going to have a repeater going into that block there, and going into that block there, and then dust behind, in between those, and then just stir this up again, like that. And then we should be good on this side, I think. No, we're not. So put some dust in right there as well. So there's that all wired up. Don't worry about that right there. We'll fix that in a second. So now we're going to put in our bud switches. So this is actually going to come out one more. So go ahead and fill this in, because our floor is going to start right here. And I like to just put the switch right there to the left of that. So put a block right there, just to the left of that, and go down. You're going to come bring it down 2, 3, 4. So on the 5th block down from floor level, it should be right there. So right there, and you're going to bring out 1 like that. So take that away. So then put a 6 block platform like that, because we're going to put a repeater here on 2, repeater going that way with just dust like that, and then a regular piston right there on the side of that repeater that has a 2 delay, and then a block right there with a torch on it, and a block on top of that torch. Now you're going to put a sticky piston facing down right there, and put a block on it. I put a torch right underneath that block you just placed. That's underneath the sticky piston. Now we have a bud switch. It'll send a pulse every time you put some redstone, or if you take away that block, or if you do anything with it. Alright, so now we're going to grab the signal coming off this torch. So put a block there with a repeater going away from it on 4, and then bring it this way. Actually build this up 1, and bring it this way until it meets up with that block right there, because you're going to have a repeater right there on 4, and then just put dust behind it. Now we need to put our other switch in, or other switch in. So bring this out like that. Let's just go 1 more. Maybe we could bring this out right now, so you can bring it out if you want. Give you a little bit more room. So we'll put our switch right here. So drop down straight from that 5 and make a 6-block platform. Put a repeater on 2, repeater no delay, dust behind it all. Regular piston right there. Block right there with a torch on it, and a block on top of that torch, and then a sticky piston facing down with a block on it, and then put your torch right there. And now we can do the same thing. Jesus, sleep, quick. There we go. Alright, so where the hell's my ship? There it is. Alright, so we're going to lead the signal from that torch again. So just put a block right there with a repeater on 4 delay, and then bring it up like that, and just lead that to that block right there that the other one's going to as well. So we're going to meet these two up. So put a repeater going into that on 4, dust behind it like that. Now we're going to put in our T flip-flop. So bring it to, come right here. This is the front where this butt switch is going into that. Bring this out to over 1. Put dust on it like that. And if you've seen my stuff before this, you can pretty much tell what I'm doing here. So just put a T flip-flop in like that. You're going to have a torch right there and a block on top of that with a torch on each side. So now we just need to get the signal coming from this torch. So put a block right there, right behind that torch. And we're going to lead it this way until we get right there where that line of dust is going on this side to the door. Put a repeater right there, no delay. Lead that back to the T flip-flop and put some dust right there connecting it up. And that should be it. That's really it. I run it once just to make sure it resets. Run it again. Opens up. Everything looks good. Let's check this. Sometimes these can mess up, but as you can see, it doesn't. So that works, and that works. So just come up top here, and we're going to put in our lava. So let's put in some lava real quick. There and there on the top of it. And you can go ahead and throw in your fence right there and there. Now just run it and make sure everything's working good. You see the lava drops down and comes flush up against those gates right there. And now the closing action, the opening. There it is. So we're good. So you can fill in your floor. And I'll show you real quick what I was talking about earlier. You can, what else do I need? That. You can take these out. Obviously you'd want, some type of stone here anyway. And you can have it flush with the wall like that for a regular type fireplace, if you wanted. And that looks, good enough. But other than that, you can make it to where this is actually sunk in one. So you can take all these out. The only drawback to doing that would be, let's put in some stairs right there. So you can take these all out and make these your fireplace. Holy crap, I'm going to fail right here really bad. No. Alright, we saved it. We're good. Shit. Oh my god. So you can't have your fireplace back one like that. and make it look good. I think this actually does look better with some half slabs right there. But the only drawback to that is you can see the pistons push out on each side right here. But if you really don't mind that, then that's another option for it. The other option, you wouldn't see the pistons at all. But I don't really mind seeing them. I think it's kind of cool actually. So anyway, so that's that. And if you build it, let me know. I'd like to see some people, liking the video. That would be awesome. So I can do some more of this stuff. But just give me some feedback. Anyway, everybody take care. Bye bye.